don't want to miss it. Hey, welcome back to the show. Cynthia and I are just sitting here doing some behind-the-scenes footage with the camera. I told you I was going to get you some footage. You got to go to our Facebook page and you can see some of this. But right now, we're here with 19 Action News reporter Denise Zarrella. How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm glad to be here. Thanks for having me.
It's pretty cool. I'm doing this at the same time.
I know, this is so cool. Just make sure you go to Facebook.
You're obsessed with that camera. You've been all over the studio.
I've been all over the place. But anyway, all
I
right.
just hope you're getting my good side.
They're all good. Denise, welcome. It's so good to see you.
It's so
Denise,
good to
you know,
see
we used to work
you.
together.
You all used to work together. Okay,
Yes,
so
we
you had a
did.
good time.
When I first came to 19,
Yes.
and I felt like we really had a connection.
Yeah, we surely
Okay,
did.
so before we talk about the good old days at 19, Denise, let's talk about you. Where are you from?
I'm originally from the Poconos in Pennsylvania.
The Poconos.
Poconos. About a lot of people that commute into New York City live there. It's a beautiful part of the country.
I thought that was just maybe like a vacation spot. Did people
It
actually live
is.
there?
With the heart-shaped bathtub.
And
People actually live there?
everybody has heart-shaped tubs in their bathrooms and those champagne Actually, I tell people that, and they actually fall for
You
it.
don't think you believe it, right?
I can see the look on your face.
Like,
But my parents went there on their honeymoon, and they stayed. And that's the story of actually a lot of people
That is
that
the
live
story.
in the
Are you kidding
Poconos.
me?
wow.
So from childhood, then we gradually go to high school and then college. Where did you go to school?
I went to school in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, which is right next door to Allentown, which you've heard the Billy Joel song, and I could see the Bethlehem Steel building from my dorm room. And growing up in the country, I thought I had really made it to the big city when I could see the Bethlehem Steel building from my dorm
And
window.
you probably found no room in the inn at the same time.
I knew you were going to go there. I knew it. I'm like, I see he's going biblical.
Okay, so now did you always know that when you were in college you wanted to be in media, television, or that was...
No, I actually wanted to be an attorney. I wanted to work in a DA's office and be a prosecutor.
So what sort of made you take a detour?
What got you out of the way?
I went on we only had one journalism class at Moravian College where I went to school. And we were exposed to all these different types of writing. We went on a field trip to the local cable station, much, very similar to these studios, and where everybody could get an opportunity to go out and do stories and interview people. And I just couldn't believe that people did that, and that was their job. I thought, this is really cool. I want to pursue it, and I did. By doing a lot of working for free.
I can relate.
So before you got to Cleveland in 19 Action News, where were you before?
Oh gosh, I started out at America's Most Wanted actually as a production assistant. I love that job. And then I went to WTTG, which is right downstairs from America's Most Wanted, and started working on the assignment desk. And met somebody, I'd interned at CNN. I met somebody out in the field whose daughter worked at CNN. And within 4 weeks, I was rooming with her daughter, and I was working at CNN, tearing scripts and working cameras.
It's called networking.
Okay, you got the network.
Yeah,
that's right.
So I spent time there, and then I started working for a public affairs show called Interact America, doing stories about with people like you have here today that are doing things in the community that make a difference. I can also apply. It was actually a national show, so the stories were applicable to people that would be in other states other than just in Atlanta, Georgia.
Right.
And I love that so much. I wanted to do more of it. So I left and went to local news, moved to Jackson, Tennessee, Champaign, Illinois, back home to Pennsylvania, Wilkes-Barre, Scranton.
You went to both those and did the news?
I went, Scranton, Wilkes-Barre, so all my relatives could see me.
Right down the street.
And then I ended up here.
Right up I-80,
That's it. I've seen it.
All I have to do is point your car east.
And there you are.
On
I got
80.
a turn like I really know where I'm going, but okay.
So now you're in Cleveland, and you've been in Cleveland for...
How long you been here?
I'm in my 8th year, Cynthia. It's been that long.
But now media runs in the family because your husband Tony also works in media in Detroit.
Yes. Well, in
Well,
Detroit.
he's in Detroit now.
No, he's in Detroit now.
For the game, he's covering the game.
He's covering the game.
Okay.
Yeah, and loving every minute of it. But we met at the station. Yeah.
So now that you're at 19, some of the stories that you've done, what would you say? And I know how it is when people ask you, what's the best story you've ever covered? Ever covered.
I thought about that, Cynthia, knowing I was going to come on the show, and there's just so many stories you do. Sometimes I can't remember what I've done the day before, but my favorite stories are, of course, the ones that don't involve you know,
if it bleeds, it leads.
death
Yes.
and
Destruction.
because you know you see when you've been out there in the field. I mean, there's stories that stay with you just for years. There's scenes that I've been on that I've never forgotten about, people that I've met, but I've also learned a lot from the people that I've covered too. But my favorite stories are just like some of the fun things that you get to do when you get to be on the field at Brown Stadium, or you know, I've done stories with Slider and you know some of the fun features. When the Rolling Stones were in town, I got to cover them, and you know. But then there's also some stories where I actually journaled about. I met people that taught me really cool lessons about life and living
that you'll never forget.
That I'll never forget. No.
Wow.
So outside of the station, what does Denise like to do outside of going to work, and what do you do on an off day?
Well, my favorite thing to do is to go thrift store shopping, actually. So I will be like in Unique Thrift, Goodwill, and I like going on girl treasure hunts like that. But
You're very resourceful. You're very resourceful.
This economy, you need
to. And now it's become the popular thing to do, and I've got a little competition for the good things.
Yes, you do. Yes.
But I just love getting together with friends, spending time with Tony. We've got 2 crazy dogs and a cat at home, and once you get married, you just kind of start nesting. So, I
2 crazy dogs.
Yeah, and they are. We've been kicked out of the dog park a couple times, so they really are crazy.
But soon, very soon, later on this fall.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, in August.
August, okay.
This summer.
We're going to have an addition to the Zarrella
Just
family.
a little baby bump.
Yes, I do. And I was just teasing everybody. They were saying, "What do you do?" And I thought, wouldn't it be funny if I could have a little bit of fun with you and pretend that I wasn't pregnant?
But you are. But you are. Right.
I am. So it's going to be a hot summer, apparently.
I've been there. Right.
Yeah.
Oh, there
Cool
y'all
clothes.
Go. There y'all go.
But this show isn't about that. I'm sorry.
Not this
okay.
segment.
Not this
Don't do
segment.
that. Not today.
So are you hoping for one sex
No,
over
we
Healthy.
just feel blessed. We just
A lovely baby.
we just want we're just excited about this new life and this new addition to our family, and and we just can't even imagine the joy that she's going to bring.
Zarrella, 19 ActionNew. You can catch her everywhere.
And Denise is honest, fair.
And everywhere. She really is. So, hey, thank you so
Thank you
much
for
for
having
allowing
me.
us
This
to
was
take another
great.
look.
It's so good to see you. You look wonderful.
Thank you.
And good luck with the
There they
little
go
one.
with that girl. Look, we're going to take a quick commercial break. Pay a few bills. We'll be right back after this commercial with more of Another Look.
Stay with us.
Now y'all can have your girl talk.